significantly. Greg Jennings still with us. Greg, do you agree?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Look, I've had my share of being critical of Aaron Rodgers and some of his shortcomings, whatever the case may be. But this is not one. When I look at this list, and I love Bucky, Bucky does a phenomenal job.
He does.
That's my guy.
Yep.
But to say Aaron Rodgers is not top 5, I don't know where Bucky has been. He's looking at too many stats. Stats don't always tell the full and complete story. That's my issue with this list. When I look at this list, we have a Patrick Mahomes. Is he special? Is he going to be transcendent? That's the hope. That's what we think he can be. But has he done it consistently more than a year? No. Do we believe he will? Yes. I believe we've seen enough with our eyes to take the eye test to say that kid is special. But when I look at Aaron Rodgers and I look at this list of quarterbacks, statistically, may they have some better numbers or records of teams? Possibly. But I look at things like this. If I take Aaron Rodgers and I compare him to all these quarterbacks, is there anything on any one of these quarterbacks that can do something that Aaron Rodgers can't do at any point in the game, under any position in the game, whether it's 2 minute, down 6, down 3, get my team the ball, first down, field goal, whatever the case may be? No, there's nothing any one of these quarterbacks can do that Aaron can't do. But when you flip that and you put Aaron in that position, the closest, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes now, that has ever come to being able to do everything that Aaron Rodgers can do, everything that he has in his toolbox, Russell Wilson. He's the only one that could potentially do anything close, remotely close. I'm not saying the others aren't great. Tom Brady, obviously, the greatest to do it because of all the acknowledgments and the achievements that he's had. But Aaron Rodgers, just because he's been injured, because he hasn't been in the playoff picture, because he doesn't have the wins, we want to all of a sudden say, man, this guy isn't what we think he is. Stop lying to yourself. This guy is special. And if any owner or general manager had the opportunity to reset their whole roster and say, I can start with a quarterback, they might pick Patrick Mahomes because he's younger. Russell Wilson possibly because he's younger. But Aaron Rodgers is coming off that board.
Maybe they'd be wrong.
Maybe not.
Nah, come on.
I love Bucky. I think he does a great job. I think he's evaluating. Obviously, he was a scout. He's looked at enough film. But I got to disagree with it. I got to disagree with him, Skip Bayless, because here, what we're looking at, they don't shop. Aaron Rodgers is suffering from the same thing that has happened to LeBron James because he set a standard so high of being transcendent. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 2 picks. It's the same thing. LeBron James won an MVP in Miami with 26, 8, and 7. And he won the MVP. He had 27, 8, and 8, and he stepped off a cliff. Because why, Skip? He didn't make the playoffs. Aaron didn't make the playoffs. You see, ultimately what we judge a quarterback by is Super Bowls. Did he win the Super Bowl? Well, no, he didn't. But it's been rarely that Aaron Rodgers has possessed a Super Bowl caliber defense because, as you mentioned last week, Skip, we went midway through the fourth quarter, and the score in the Super Bowl was 3-0.
It was.
Now, the St. Louis Rams had one of the top 2 offenses in all of football, and they had 0 points halfway through the fourth quarter.
Overrated quarterback.
Well, I don't know about the overrated. All I know is about what the numbers say. The numbers say they had one of the top 2 offenses in all of football, as far as yards, as far as points. And Coach Belichick's defense. Now, he mentioned coaching staff. Do we think Mike McCarthy is anything comparable to Bill Belichick?
No, but he's pretty good. I think this man would say he's pretty good.
He is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what?
But to answer your question, no.
Thank you. Do we think he's Sean Payton?
For a while he was. I mean, people kept saying he's the best play caller in the league.
You know what, Greg? For a while I was in college. But I ain't been there in a while, Skip Bayless. And you know that. See, that's the problem. Me and you, when me and you go at it, Skip Bayless, because you always do this. You always try to make it seem like Aaron Rodgers has had the best of the best. Tom Brady, Skip, if you don't mind me asking, and then I'm going to let you have it, because you already know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady did something in the Super Bowl 51, I think. You told me he threw for the most yards in a playoff game in NFL history. Now, Jenny, I don't know if anybody knows this. The NFL is 100 years old this year. And no quarterback prior had ever thrown for more yards in a game than Tom Brady.
Playoff game, yeah.
In a playoff game.
Yeah.
Skip, can you tell the people what happened to Tom Brady?
Belichick happened.
Okay, he took the L. Why? Because
Bill Belichick benched Malcolm Butler, and they gave up 40 points to the Eagles' backup quarterback.
Well, Mike McCarthy and Ted Thompson did not feel top 10 because when he had a top 10 defense, they went to and they won the Super Bowl. And when you have a 20th defense or a 25th ranked defense, you're not winning the Super Bowl, Skip Bayless. So Aaron Rodgers is top 5. Because all I know, you say Football Focus, they say when they graded that thing, who's that graded it? Then them 30 execs said Aaron Rodgers was tier 1.
Indeed.
He was first.
Yeah, but they were ripping him. They were slashing him. Man.
You rip me.
But tell me I'm number one.
Tell me I'm number 1.
We all got flaws.
Shannon Sharpe.
What?
Given where you rank and rate Aaron Rodgers, transcendent, all-time greatest thrower of the football, he has become the most overrated quarterback in the National Football League. He is no longer top 5 in production. Like, what does your eye test tell you? What do the numbers tell you? And the key numbers are wins and losses.
Yeah.
That's what Bucky based his premise on. He's just not winning the way he used to win. And you have to go way back to that long ago Super Bowl that you played in and you broke it open with the catch of the game. It's a better catch than a throw, but you did it. Well, he did.
Don't do that.
I credit him for that. But that was like 10 years ago.
Greg, don't let it fool you, Greg. He credited you, but you know he tried to take a swipe at you.
You already know.
Aaron Rodgers is still top 5 in capability, but not in production. He's just not been doing it. I agree with you. I'll watch him in some preseason game this year, and I'll say, wow, he can really throw it. But when it comes time to win the football game, he's just not winning. His QBR has dropped each of the last 3 years. His percentage, his completion percentage has dropped each of the last 3 years. Last year, he went 6-9-1, and over the last 3 years, he's 20-18-1, which is 20th in football. Bucky had another stat, but the point is, last year, he shattered the NFL record for throwaways. And again, you can knock it or whatever you want to say. You can defend it all you want.
Don't put the ball in harm's way.
He just says, if I don't like what I see, third row, I'll just throw it in the ground because I'm not going to risk an interception. So he goes 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and he goes 6-9-1. He's in capability, he's still obviously top 5. In durability, he's bottom 5 because he just stays hurt.
Yeah.
There's always something wrong. Well, that's part of this equation, right? So I'm with Bucky all along, but I've been telling you he's way overrated because he doesn't produce. And he hasn't produced how many he got to the NFC Championship game at Seattle, and he was pretty ordinary in both of those games. I got to tell you,
playing against some special defenses.
Right.
But Skip, when you look at this, look how many yards did Patrick Mahomes have? Played great, 50-10, 50-12. But what let him down? His defense. Ben Roethlisberger threw for the 7th most yards in NFL history. What let him down throughout the course of the season? His defense. It doesn't matter, Skip. But look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady had 0 touchdowns and interception or 26 QBR. Now, you know they measure QBR, 0 to 150 being average. He was 26, and he won the Super Bowl because his defense gave up 3 points, Skip Bayless.
And because he completed 5 straight passes in one drive that produced the touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers completed 22 straight passes.
I'm not going to even go on the defensive rant. Forget the defense. Let's just focus on Aaron Rodgers, the man. Number one, I'm with you with this LeBron James comparison because the standard was so high. He's the reason why the guys like Patrick Mahomes are so highly touted and sought after now because of what he was able to do in changing the game at that position.
The throws that he can make.
But since when did we start tracking throwaways? Since when did we care about throwaways?
I don't know, 10 years ago?
No, 10 years ago.
No. It wasn't until last year when he was throwing the ball away.
He broke the record. He broke it.
No one ever. if he broke the record for interceptions, would you talk about that more, or would you care about the throwaways?
Because when you played with a guy named Brett, and they say, Brett, you're forcing the ball because it was getting picked off. Now he doesn't put the ball in harm's way, and so now you criticize him for that.
It's like he
How
can't
many
win.
times did Brett pull off a throw through a tight window where you said, how did he do that?
And he's done the same thing. And then
that throw on the sideline.
Keeping it on Aaron Rodgers, keeping it on him.
How did he do it? He's wide open. What are you talking about?
Though he wasn't playing injured last year.
Yeah,
he wasn't been injured the year before. We act as though everything has been just crystal clean with his health to where he can play at the highest level. No, it's unrealistic. Even with being healthy and playing a 17-week season, he still are going to have some ups and downs, some bumps and bruises.
Okay.
But he has not been at full strength and health.
Watch him this year.
Okay.
Let alone being at odds with your offensive coordinator.
Okay.
It doesn't help.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up, because we do dramatically question his leadership skills after that expose that ran.
Yeah.
You contributed partly to that. And let me point out that on last Friday, we did what's called Skip Rides the Roller Coaster. We did our third one, and I got a great question.
What?
Right here, right now, if you could start a franchise in the NFL with Aaron Rodgers and try to win a championship, or in the NBA with LeBron James and go try to win a championship, as they are right here at this age,
I'm taking LeBron.
I'm taking LeBron also, because Aaron Rodgers, his durability is highly questionable. His accuracy has become questionable, and all LeBron remains, he's still the best passer in basketball.
The reason why I would take LeBron, because he can help, because like when Tom Brady threw for 505, he was helpless. He couldn't help the defense.
Exactly.
See, LeBron James, he can guard Kawhi. Now, maybe he's not what he once was, but maybe he can slow down a Kawhi. Maybe he can slow down the opposing team, one of their best players.
I'll take LeBron's leadership over Aaron Rodgers' leadership, and that factors into being a top-5 quarterback,
Well, you
right?
eat those words this year. You eat those words this year, Skip Bayless.
It's like this in the Bible. It says love covers a multitude of sins. When you have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, it covers a multitude of flaws. And that's what's been that's what's been the Achilles heel of the Green Bay Packers. He's been trying to cover all the flaws defensively, offensively, schematically. Yeah. And they've been putting all that on him.
When you go to Macy's makeup counter, they got that Rodgers up there. It said cover blemishes. You got a bad head coach, it'll cover it up. You got a terrible defense, he'll cover it up.
You want to win, he won't cover it up.
Yeah, cover up everything.
Yeah.
You expect big things from him this year, though.
I do. Okay. I do. I'm not going to be unrealistic and say that these guys aren't special.
Yeah.
But all four, and then battling for 6, Andrew, come on, Bucky.
Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.